your stocking? Where'd that tradition come from?
Yeah.
Well, that's been always.
So did you have it when you grew up? Did your mom
Yeah,
do
I
that?
think we had, yeah, and nuts in there.
Yeah.
That was our treat.
I remember, because I do that with my kids now. I still give them an apple and orange and the nuts and then
Yeah.
candy or whatever. But I never knew if you got that when you were growing up too.
Yeah.
That was a tradition. And then what'd you do Christmas Day? Did you just go to church? Did you have a big
Go
dinner?
to church, midnight mass, and all that.
Yeah.
And,
Did you have a big dinner during the day?
we would go to different houses. Like Mama Corey would have one. Let's say like Thanksgiving. Mom would have Christmas, and Marianne would have New Year's. You know, we would alternate. Each one would have a different holiday.
So all the cousins and
Yeah.
everybody get together and party and have
Yeah.
a good
Well, the
family.
kids, Mathama's kids couldn't stand going to my house because there was no toys to play with. They wanted to go right home.
Oh,
Who's Mathama's kids?
That's like Doc Corey and
Oh,
Joe
okay.
Joe and Tony and
So they're your Mathama and your dad are brother sister?
yeah, brothers.
Brothers, okay.
And they they didn't like coming over on Christmas at our house because there was nothing to play with.
so what did you play with then? I mean, you just nothing.
You get used to it, you don't have it. I remember that Joe went to the junkyard and got a bicycle and got parts and built his own bike.
Uncle Joe did?
He be-
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
He was.
Are we done?
Do you need a break?
You need a break, Mom?
What is this?
Wait, we still have more to ask. This is interesting.
Well, nobody's asking.
Here we are. Okay, so where'd you get married? You got married at St. Pat's?
Hmm?
Did you get married at St. Pat's Church?
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Did
That's
you
the
ever
time they used to, they didn't make it noon, 1 o'clock and all that baloney.
And why did they do that? Is it because people worked or?
Yeah, because Saturdays was a busy day for the grocery store.
Yeah.
And you couldn't take off for that, so you had to do it during the week.
Yeah. And did you have a reception?
So they all Joe got married Tuesday, Tommy got married Tuesday. It was always on a weekday.
On the weekdays? Let's see.
What, Mom?
How did you, like with names? I know a lot of your brothers and sisters have different names than what they named them.
Yeah,
What was that
well,
all
like
about?
Mark was named Bernadine. Rosie was Catherine.
Those were their
But they
legal
didn't
names?
know no difference. They didn't even know how to talk. You know what I mean at that time. And they didn't. Like Si was named Henry.
Oh, wow.
Just whatever name they heard, well, they would call you that.
Okay, so Henry was on his birth certificate, but they called him Cy?
Yeah, they changed all of them.
So what
Joe
was your
was
name?
Anthony,
Uh-huh.
and they changed it to Joe.
Was yours?
What was yours?
Mine was right.
So yours was always Cecilia
Yeah,
because of Silahood?
yeah.
Mom, who was your closest sister?
Who are you most close to in your family, your sibling? What sister did you like? Did you hang
My
out with?
sister Mark, she was next to me. The others were 11, 12 years older than me. They were already out when I was getting them.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do? What was some of the fun things you and Aunt Mark did? As sisters.
On the phone.
8 o'clock every morning.
Uh-huh. Did you go
I still
out?
go to the phone to call her. I still catch myself calling her.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Ask if they were
I get so,
if they went anywhere when they were teenagers.
So did you like go roller skating or anything when you were teenagers?
I think we tried it once.
They
bunch
had
of us.
that where they had places where you could go.
We'd go out to eat, like, different things when we got older.
Yeah.
The bunch. That was all we did.
So basically, you'd go out to dances, and that's how you socialized. growing
Yeah,
up.
mostly.
So so then you got married, and you had 10 kids. And was any rhyme or reason to naming us?
Huh?
Any rhyme or reason to our names? What you named each one of us?
I
Other
don't
than
know.
Ray, you know
Dad
Ray?
named some, I named some. He named Camilla after the nun that taught him.
Okay,
Yeah.
explain Phyllis. Where would you even get Phyllis?
I don't know.
Dad's name. Did Dad name her? Was that Dad's
Was that
name?
I named Lolly.
Yeah.
Dad must have named Dodie.
Kathleen.
And Kathy, I named, and Edie,
Maureen.
I named.
Camilla.
Millie, Dad named.
Ray?
Then Peggy, by that time I was naming them.
Yeah.
I
What-
named
okay,
Peggy.
so what's the story behind Ray? After 5 girls, didn't Dad promise?
Huh?
He had, I remember hearing when, after you had 5 girls, he wanted a boy. And he made a promise that if he had a boy, that he would be a priest.
Yeah.
Is that was true?
It didn't work out though.
So then David was named after, just like, that was like Dave.
Dave and him together.
Yeah, and
Then
then,
the 3 girls afterwards.
so,
And you never worked other than when you were in the store, right?
Yeah.
if you could have been anything, what you would have
Well,
wanted
there
to
was
be?
nothing to, nowhere to go, or nowhere to work.
So if you could have picked a job, what would you have done?
I remember you doing shorthand.
You like
You used to write in shorthand.
Yeah.
Would you have been a secretary or worked in the
I
office?
just had to go to the store, that's it. They
Yeah.
expected me to go to the store.
So when you were in high school, you just took,
Yeah, I didn't work during high school.
but you just took regular classes,
Yeah, I took
like business.
shorthand typing, home economics,
And you still know shorthand, don't you?
sometimes.
I remember seeing you write pages of shorthand at the table.
Yeah,
I took it in high school, and she was my helper. She helped me with shorthand, and that was how many years out? You've been out of school for how many years? Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
So you went to the academy.
yeah.
That was a boarding school at one time, right?
No, boarding school, yeah,
On the-
upstairs.
On the 4th level?
Yeah, there was rooms up in the 4th floor at the academy.
Yeah.
That we had a couple girls that stayed there from Peru or, outside of Peoria.
Yeah.
Well, they lived there. Well, there was 36 of us and graduated from high
So-
school.
That had to be expensive to send you there, wasn't it?
$20. Well, with Mark and I, it was $20 a semester for
Wow.
each one.
Wow. That's,
$40 a year. Then the churches, the school, paid the rest.
that's really good.
So who went to academy? Just you and Aunt Mart, nobody else?
Huh?
Just you and Aunt Mart went to academy, nobody else?
Sadie went to Manual. She didn't want to go to the academy. Rosie went to Brown Business College.
She didn't go to high school?
No, she went rounds. We didn't have to go. In those days, it wasn't mandatory that a girl gets an education.
Oh.
wow.
See?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, then the boys all went to Spalding. Maybe it took them 5 years or maybe 6 years, but they went.
Seriously?
Wow. Okay, Mom, who taught you how to cook? Did you have to help, or how'd you learn you're such a
I
good cook?
got my sister to help me.
You learned-
Mark did a lot of it. Taught me a lot.
So, did you have to cook meals at home, or no?
I didn't even know how to boil eggs when I got married.
You were kidding. Is it
No, I
bec-
didn't.
How
I
come
didn't. I didn't.
So, because I knew how to cook from you, just growing up from grade school, cooking kibbeh and chicken rice, all my, the
No,
lubia.
I never learned from Mom.
So Aunt Martha taught you.
But she was living with her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law was a real good cook.
Uh-huh.
So I just learned from Mark.
Wow. So, what were your traditional meals like Christmas time? What'd you have for dinner? Did you
Well, they would have a complete meal, Lebanese meal.
kibbeh? Would always be kibbeh.
All that,
and-
with goose and all that stuff. Oh, they cooked good.
I remember growing up, we went to Grandma Jidu's house every Sunday, and it seemed like every aunt had a favorite dish. Like you would bring the beans, Aunt Martha would usually bring the wanana, Aunt Liz would bring the chicken rice, the stuffed chicken.
Yeah.
Was that pretty much what it was like when you were growing up on
That's it.
Sundays?
Yeah, yeah, but a lot of them we didn't eat that much, variety on Sundays, only it was special.
So what'd you have then? Is it,
Well, she would have like welkaba and bakaba and stuffed chicken and stuff like that. That was it.
Yeah.
She'd have that already made.
Did you ever have any American food?
Well, every week we'd have the same thing. Every Monday we'd have one thing. Every Tuesday it'd be the same thing. It was like pork chops and different things. Every chili and different things. Every week it'd be the same meal.
Oh, that explains why we had pork chops and hamburgers and.
all right, we had Lebanese, we had fasulia on Mondays,
Uh-huh.
Syrian roast on
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
That explains it. Asian Friday with Jedro. Fried chicken on Sundays.
yeah.
Did
So-
you have any specialties like raw kibble or?
What was your favorite food? What was your favorite?
Mine was bakaba
Baked kibbeh?
out of all of it.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what else? So Aunt Martha taught you how to cook. You lived with Aunt Martha for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, when we got married, we lived in the upstairs in the attic room
On McBean or?
until Dad found a house.
And did you have Lolly then? Or?
Yeah,
So is,
then I got sick with Jody, and I
yeah.
was in the hospital when he found this house.
Oh,
And then we just took her right then.
and that was on Second and Sand Street?
Yeah,
And that was what, the 2-bedroom,
a living room and the
kitchen? And a basement that had
Yeah.
scary stairs going down. I still had a
Well,
nightmare.
when we moved, Dave was a baby. There was 8 kids, or 7 kids.
So we had, yeah, wait,
We
7
had
kids.
bunk beds on one side and
double
a
bed.
double bed on the other side of the room.
And
And
I
then we had Ray in Dad in my room,
Yeah.
and Dave in a crib.
And I remember Kathy.
In 2 bedrooms, we had that.
So then we moved up to Elmwood, to where we had
But-
5 bedrooms and,
Yeah,
and Dave was a baby then.
yeah,
I remember on Second Street, I remember Kathy picking a hole in the wall.
yeah.
I'll never forget that. It was a big,
Well, she knows that. She still says that.
I remember that. Okay, what else?
Yeah.
I don't know, I wasn't around back then.
There was, I remember that.
Yeah. Are we done?
What other ones do we have?
Does anybody have any questions?
Where'd you guys leave off?
We moved up to Elmwood. And you've been at Elmwood for how many years?
Elmwood,
You've been
Elmwood.
up there since I was 6 years old, so,
We moved when Dave was 8 months old. How old is he? How old would he be now?
what year was he born in? I can't even
He'd
remember.
be 53, 54 right now.
Well, that's how long we were living in
So you've
Elmwood.
been on Elmwood
50.
54 years.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you ever think you would pay for that house back then?
Huh?
Weren't you scared of buying that big of a house?
Your dad? No, all he wanted was a brick home. That's all he wanted was a brick home.
Wasn't that a lot of money back then, though?
Is that no? It was 17,000 or something.
17,000.
In the house next door, Jackie, she was going to buy our house, but she couldn't afford the 17, so she paid 12,000 for her house.
Wow.
And that's what property was.
How much was your house payment? How much?
About 90 some dollars.
Oh my God. Do you remember what the interest rate was?
Huh?
You remember what interest rate you had?
5% or 6%.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
For back then.
But we paid it off within,
Yeah.
when you get 6,000 on Sand Street.
Yeah. So, Dad had, he had 2 places of business, right? On 7th Street and then up on Western.
Yeah, he moved from 7 to Western.
And did he have mechanic school, or how did he learn how to work on the cars?
Bud Christner did a lot of teaching for him. He taught him a lot.
His dad didn't go to, Dad only went up to 7th grade?
Yeah, well, he got his GED.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got it when he was in the Army.
I didn't know that.
Why?
I didn't know that. He always said he just had an 8th grade education.
Well, you figure he was in the orphanage how many years?
Did you know his parents? Did you know his parents?
He knew his dad.
No, did you know of them? Did you know his dad?
I knew his dad. I met his dad. I didn't know his mom. His mom died when they were kids.
Was
little
his
kids.
dad living when you got married?
No.
Oh.
He was dead. He dropped dead with a heart attack, just like Dave did.
Wow.
How old was he? Do you know? Was he old?
He wasn't. Yeah, he was old then. He was going to work at Jefferson, that Jefferson building.
Oh,
He was a janitor there, and he was going on Jefferson. He dropped right in the middle of the street.
How old was he, Mom?
I don't know. He was in his older. He was older.
He looked old.
70-ish?
He was old. He was over 60, whatever it is.
Because he looked old in his pictures that I have
Yeah.
seen. He looked like he was an old person.
Okay, tell us once again, why did Dad have to go to the orphanage?
Because his dad was working, and nobody to watch his 4 kids. Dad was the oldest, so all 4 of them went to Garden Angel.
Okay.
So Dad took care of them over there in the orphanage.
Did you go see him?
He went every Sunday. He walked over there to see him and spent the afternoon with him.
And when did they get out of the orphanage?
Well, when he got older, then he got out. Then gradually he got the others out.
Who did they live with when he got out?
Cat had a beauty shop on Jefferson Street. So they moved in with her.
Even Dad did?
Dad, yeah.
I thought Dad was the oldest.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But Cat had gone to beauty school and had a beauty shop.
I remember Dad saying too that he used to take the priest places or do errands for the priest.
The what?
Dad used to go do errands for Father.
For Bishop
Oh yeah,
Sheen,
he drive the horse and buggy. He do his errands for the priest
And was that the priest from churches in Peoria or just from the Guardian Angel?
from Garden Angel.
Oh, okay.
Mom, Ray said it was Bishop Sheen, was it?
Huh?
Ray thinks it was Bishop Sheen.
What do you mean?
Bishop Sheen, Ray thinks it was.
No, he didn't work with Bishop Sheen.
You've always told me that.
I know we have pictures of Dad and Bishop. Yeah, he was at St. Pat's and Bishop was.
But he never worked with Dad?
No, not.
So did Bishop Sheen take his car to Dad though later? Do I remember hearing that?
He came down and we had a spaghetti dinner, raising money, and Bishop Sheen came in for it.
Oh.
And then he associated with all the workers there, talked to her and all that.
So you were in the midst of a saint.
Yeah, we met him.
Wow.
I had pictures. I don't know what happened to him
Wow.
with Dad, with Bishop Sheen and Dad and all, you know.
Yeah.
What, I missed that. Why were you and Dad with Bishop Sheen? These guys were talking.
Why do I?
How did you get a picture with Bishop Sheen? It was at the.
Well, he was talking to all of us. We were working the spaghetti dinner at St. Pat's,
Yeah?
and he was talking to all of us there.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was assistant there for a couple of years when I was going to school.
Yeah.
He was there.
He was just a regular priest then.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was the assistant at St. Pat's when I was in school.
So, Mom, when you were at St. Pat's, were the classrooms, were they full of kids? They had 50 kids
Yeah,
in the class?
they had 30 or 40 kids in a class.
Did you have to wear a uniform?
No,
No.
not them.
Did you at Academy?
Yes, black stockings.
Black stockings?
Real black heavy stockings, black outfit.
You didn't have the navy blue that we did?
Yeah,
You had black, we had navy blue.
we had black. Then they went to Navy.
And you had the same emblem we did.
Yeah, that was academies.
So, so were you in high school? Did you date anybody? No? Just hung out?
No, you didn't meet anybody. They would let Spalding out 20 minutes before the academy, so the Spalding boys would be out of the vicinity by the time academy got out. And they wouldn't let you look out the window and look over there.
Because they didn't want you socializing with the boys?